Welcome to a special edition of Truth Be Told, and tonight we got a special guest, T Green. We got my boy uh, from a while. I've been friends and enemies and all that stuff for quite some time. But agree, we're not gonna get into that because we're not here for that. We're here for a special reason tonight. I would like to welcome the director of CAPS and also a co-director of CAPS as well, Mr. Carl Williams, and also Miss Olivia Harvey to Truth Be Told. Welcome, guys. How you guys doing? I always call you Carlos or something.
Carl and Olivia.
That's okay. I'll make you remember my name.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, Carl. Listen.
Yes.
Listen. Hey, listen, man. We're here for a really unique situation tonight. You got something that's, when you shared this idea with me, I thought it was very neat. I thought it was something that our area definitely needed. It's different. It's also something that is probably one of a kind in this area. And you guys are starting it. So, Carl, tell us a little bit about what you got going on. I know the program is called CAPS, right?
Yes. So we actually have a nonprofit organization, which is CAPS Athletics. CAPS, the C stands for courage, A for ascension, the P stands for perseverance, and the S for strength. So we started the nonprofit basically as a gateway for some of our youth to get more involved in athletics, because I don't know about everyone else, but I know that athletics was a big part of my life and saved a lot of my friends' lives, like literally. So we wanted to try to, people always talk about giving back. So now, let's not talk about it, just be about it. So we created an organization, and we have really tried to get more into the mentoring. It's almost, think of mentoring through sports, okay? So that's essentially what we're about, but also bringing different backgrounds, different people together. And so through CAPS, we were able to secure a partnership with the WNBA and the NBA, which has the Junior Athletic Basketball League. So it's officially called the Junior NBA WNBA leagues.
Let me ask you about that because, that partnership that you just spoke about, right? There's a lot of basketball leagues in the area, and every basketball league is a little bit different. But we've never seen anything with the WNBA or the NBA. When we talk about flag football, we see some NFL partnerships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is this something that is very unique? Is there another organization close in this area that does this?
No. It's actually kind of a cool idea. You mentioned the NFL. So somebody who was way smarter than me came up with this idea several years ago. It's called RCX Sports. And RCX Sports decided, you know what, we're going to approach all of the major pro teams, NFL, Major League, NHL hockey, NBA. We're going to approach them and we're going to create youth leagues in their name. But we're going to save them from doing all the work because they're out there taking care of the NBA. They do all of it. So they do the vetting, the meetings, the interviews, anything of that, the background check. But as far as the NBA and the WNBA, there is no other organization that has that in this area. In fact, the closest one is 80 miles from here. There's less than 300 in the United States. When you think about that, that breaks down to about 5 per state. So it's something definitely special, and I feel blessed and thankful that we can bring it to this area.
What's the ages like? What ages y'all start from?
We're gonna do 7 to 14.
Oh, okay.
If someone feels like they have a 6-year-old that is good enough, we're not gonna shy away from it. But ideally, we're trying to make sure that we are really specific in what we do because, one of the blessings that we receive, and I know I'm probably jumping ahead, is that being part of the NBA and WNBA, they already have practice plans and they give you objectives that kids should have at different age groups. So there's a 7-8 group, 9, 10, and 11, 12, and a 13, 14. So the practice plans are there. So if you're a 13-year-old girl, here's what the WNBA is saying you should be learning.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have a chance to really implement that.
That's good. That's good. Huh?
Olivia, so let me ask you, Olivia, as far as just the type of supports and resources that you guys are going to receive from the league, that being one, practice schedules and stuff like that.
Right.
Is there any other special things or unique things that they're going to be offering?
I really was captured at first on just the fact that it's WNBA and NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That does something for the youth nowadays. Like to know that that's a part of something that they're a part of
Yeah.
already starts the mentorship without even saying too much.
Right.
But that feeling that about themselves, so the confidence in the youth being a part of something that has that involved is where I think is a start. After that, the mentorship, of course, how many leagues are incorporating an actual part for girls?
Mm-hmm.
Like having a side for girls along with the boys having their own thing, it's big. And we see what's going on with girls college ball and what's going on with WNBA. Like there is a push for everyone to pay more attention.
Yeah.
And so I think us giving that for both sides is something that's a big impact for the youth as well. Like one of my players that I coach, I was walking around with a jersey and immediately was like, "That's Caitlin Clark team." And we had a Fever jersey, and it was just to see what her face did,
Yeah.
and then even see what some boys did about Fever. It was just like that means something. It means something, and it's something they also would strive to want to do. It's not something that it's like, oh, it's just basketball. It's not just basketball.
Right.
And if you don't mind, I'd just like to piggyback really quickly on what she said. I was walking in the gym, and I had on my shoulder I had the Indiana Fever jersey, and on the other shoulder I had this Orlando Magic one. So I literally was walking like this. Now, mind you, I'm the head basketball coach at Booker High School, and my team captain, he said, "Coach, wait, what you got over there?" And I showed him, and now this Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
He ain't caring about that. He said, "Man, I'm Caitlin Clark."
Okay,
And,
okay,
you know,
okay.
So when you have our team captain and he went and grabbed for Caitlin Clark, that shows kind of what Olivia's talking about how the game now has evolved. And I know when I was talking with Olivia, she talked about growing up in these leagues and being like the only girl on a boys team. And we need to try to, like, if we're going to be in WNBA, I know she's very passionate about getting these females that want to be WNBA because in all honesty, you know, it's unfair when you have these merging of leagues because the ball size is different for the boys and the girls. Now everybody, if I want to be a WNBA player, but I got to wear Orlando Magic, why can't I wear the Indiana Fever?
Yeah.
So, and just kind of one of the things you talked about, this is one of those things that we do have as a benefit. This is, and I showed you guys this quality earlier of this jersey. You know, these are the actual. These will be the game jerseys for our league, but this is what the actual Indiana Fever wear as practice. These are their actual practice reversibles with the actual NBA, WNBA logo. Same thing for the Orlando Magic. These are their practice jerseys.
Yeah.
And you cannot fabric. You can only get this through our league. No one else has the partnership, the rights, because we are actually partnered with the WNBA and the NBA.
Right.
We are an affiliate of their organization.
So
And that's quality too. That's quality too.
And with that being said, so I'm going to assume in order to have this program, you have to meet a certain criteria or make sure that you are, while you're in the league, you just can't willy dilly, right?
No.
You do have to follow some type of a plan of action and stuff like that, right?
Yes, and by any means you can step in if you want, but there's a lot of things that we have to abide by. First of all, getting there was going through the background, the application, several different meetings. So as far as what we have to abide by, well, first of all, we need to be trying to implement their lessons. Our coaches have to be background checked. In addition to that, there's a dress code. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like, at first I was like, man, really, there's a dress code for coaches? But then I've been to some other leagues, and I'm like,
yeah,
you
I
know
remember
what?
talking
I'm
to
glad
you.
there's a dress
Yeah.
code
Oh yeah,
for
it need to be.
coaches.
It need to be a
'Cause,
dress
you know,
code.
if we're
Yeah.
trying to be serious about
Yeah.
in building these skills, we want to do the mentorship. Mentorship is also about how you present yourself and how you
Yep.
handle
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
So not just the skills, but let's also get into this mentorship part of it, you know, teaching how to be a young lady, teaching how to be a young man, you know. So those are the things that, again, the CAPS merging with the junior NBA and and WNBA is a perfect mesh.
But you know what? To me, this seemed real big to me because, like I said, we don't hear this. And we hear about AAU and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for us, like exposure, okay, a lot of these kids, that's what they be looking for when they go to these AAU teams and camp. They want to be exposed. So I'm assuming with the WNBA and the NBA behind y'all, that's enough exposure right there.
There's a lot of exposure, and the way I would, and I'll let you get the next one because I know I'm running my mouth. The way I would kind of explain our league is we have 2 gyms in Bradenton, 2 in Sarasota. I would say look at it as a youth league mixed in with almost a travel ball league, and I'll explain what I mean by what I mean by that. So on our registration, the 4 gyms are listed, and you're allowed to choose as a parent. Even though I know I'll play at all 4 gyms, I would prefer for this to be my home gym.
Okay.
So when you're home, you're wearing the home jersey, but you will go around to the
To play
other
the
3.
other-
So it's almost like that travel aspect of it at a lot cheaper cost. But in addition, there's regional and then essentially national tournaments that are NBA, WNBA.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
you can't be part of those unless you are part of the NBA
Okay,
Junior League.
okay.
So the exposure is legitimately there.
Okay.
That's awesome. Olivia, let me ask you this, because you talked a little bit about AAU a little bit
Yes.
earlier before we came on. So why should parents or players choose this league over other options in the area then?
Well, being a parent myself, and when I noticed that this was something I might speak on, it immediately got my attention on the commute. Being with AAU for the time that I was, and then knowing parents who have been in it for a long time, the travel and the cost.
Yeah.
Granted, it's what the kids like the most. I mentioned it to my son, and he was like, "Traveling like the best part." And it's like, yes, it is. But what it takes to be traveling like that, you don't think about. You're not thinking about that part. So, the travel for a parent, the cost for a parent. What was the other part of the question? Was it just that?
Just as far as the other options.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like so yeah, the commute, the cost. I feel like those are just 2 big parts to me. Like again, as a parent, it's like me coaching. I was in Clearwater like 3 weekends in a row and got 3 kids. I'm like, they coming with me? Okay, yeah, $50 at the gate each time, 2 days in a row. I'm like, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
Granted, AAU, like the exposure, which you speaking on exposure. I've been to 2 of the tournaments in my season where there were either an NBA player that just got done playing, just retired or whatever, and then there was a college player who was actually there, like there to watch. And because of the NBA and WNBA being a part of it, I just feel like it makes somebody want to see.
Yeah.
It's going to make someone want to see.
Yeah.
And so the WNBA and NBA being on this, and then the commute and the pay, and then also the back part of what we're really benefiting with. Like, everyone's seeing basketball, everybody's seeing WNBA, everybody's seeing NBA, but where some of our proceeds go to.
Yeah.
We're thinking about the cancer research for these kids, because I know everybody in here knows somebody that dealt with cancer.
Absolutely.
So like that, the commute, the pay, and then the exposure, like that is something for me.
And and what she means by the cancer research is every fee we're taking 10% and donating it to St. Jude
That's great.
cancer research.
That's
Because
big.
for us, again, either you're going to talk about the community or you're going to be about the community.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now, like I'm like not get emotional, but like I'm tired of seeing kids with cancer. I can't, and I just it breaks my heart because what did they do? They didn't get a chance to live their life. And you know, back when Olivia played basketball at Braden River, they adopted. I say they, you know, I was the coach, but they adopted a kid with neuroblastoma cancer, stage 4, and he was the manager and like the team manager for us. But the part about it that we talked about was we didn't go to the paper to tell the paper about it. Why? It wasn't to get publicity. We was trying to get that family a little love while he could, and I think he passed away like a year later. Before that year, that boy loved to be on our bench. And so these are the type of things that we are passionate about, and to kind of build on the community. You know, we're trying to involve food trucks from the community when we have our league events. You know, like let's try to make this thing really work. I want this to be a fun environment. I want you guys to be able to say, you know what, man, hey, it's Saturday morning about 10 o'clock. Let's swing up there, see what they doing over there at one of the gyms. And each gym will have a different food, a variety of food.
That's good.
You know, because when you go away on your away game, it's gonna be this food. But at your home, it's this food.
That's pretty cool because you know food trucks are just fun in general. It's a different whole atmosphere. That's really cool, man. Let me ask you, Olivia, this question real quick, and then I know we got to wrap up pretty soon. But what are some success stories that you want to see within the first couple of years? Like, what are some things you want to see come from this league?
So the first achievement, of course, is going to be seeing our work with cancer research. Seeing what we can help St. Jude with. Like that is one thing that I do want to see. Also, the growth, just seeing growth, period. Starting from one season with beginning and then to get to however many years to be able to see that growth. So growth, no shade to AAU teams, but to see AAU once upon a time players want to be playing with junior NBA and WNBA leagues. Granted, we go to age 14, you know, and what's the age of graduating high school? Like
18.
So
these days, 20. Go ahead. 21.
Did not graduate high school 21.
All right, well.
But to see I don't want to say transparent, but for parents to see the difference with doing AAU and then doing junior NBA and WNBA. AAU is, of course, college based, like how we spoke on. NBA will have like a setup thing for what you want to teach a player at a certain age. Like it's based off of NBA and WNBA. With college ball, it's like that. You know, with AAU, it's like that. You know, it's like this is how Oklahoma play their game. This is how South Carolina play their game. Like that is something that I want to see be inspiring for what we have with us. Is for them to actually see like we actually getting tips from NBA and the WNBA. For them to actually know that. It's something.
That's awesome.
So how many? Man, So how many kids y'all expecting it? Is it gonna be a limit?
So what? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that for her or for me?
Limit.
Yeah, I'm talking about like it's gonna be.
I don't know if there's no limit.
Because I'm saying, listen, it's gonna be a lot of kids because the key thing that I got from what they was talking about with the transportation and the pay with AAU. So, but they basically saying. You can get exposure, that same type of exposure. You ain't got to pay that much. You ain't got to do all that traveling.
Right.
So there's going to be a whole lot of people, man, trying to get into this.
Well, that's what we hope. But, you know, at the same time, we want to make sure we do it right. So, you know, our cost, we do believe our cost is very affordable. You know, I don't want to, again, you know, I'm not going to say that X, Y, and Z is wrong for what they charge. I just know that we felt like this is what we felt like we could do. We want to try to give the best experience possible for the least amount as possible. And to kind of piggyback on kind of like goals and things we'll kind of see in the future, what I would like to see is us to help develop young, new, aspiring coaches, so that in 3 or 4 years, 5 years, they're not high school, maybe they're at college, and they can say, man, you know what? I got my shot 5 years ago doing the youth league. So we're going to pay, we don't have a ton of money, but we're going to pay people that want to coach. Just even if it's a couple $100.
What's the word we got? Volunpaid.
Volunpaid is what we call it. Because, no shade to anyone else, but a lot of other youth leagues, you go and you get a parent volunteer. And I'm not against that parent volunteer.
Right.
But can I help you to learn to be a better coach?
Yeah.
Can I help you with that? Yeah. Because, again, I want to build your child's skills, because I want you to look back at us and say, you know what, this was one of the greatest experiences, and we coming back, and we bringing somebody with us. Right. But if we don't do it right, it won't do it. So that's what we're going to do.
This is going to be big, but this
we hope.
Y'all ready for this? This will be a whole lot of kids.
We hope.
The beginning.
So y'all already got coaches lined up too?
I do know of some coaches that definitely would want to do it.
Yep.
And honestly, what was difficult, or one of the questions that were asked is, well, where are we going to play at? I said, well, why you ask that? Well, if it's gonna be Clearwater and Orlando and going out of state, that's gonna be hard.
That's what I'm saying.
And so talking with some of the potential coaches that I think would be interested and are interested, that's
not an
that's
issue.
what they.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Man, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. You pay $140 in the early bird special, and you done.
That's it. That's it.
You $140 and you done.
Yep. Make sure you got you some black shorts.
Done.
So what $140 get you?
That's everything.
That's it.
The shorts and all that, the uniform and
Look.
Man, y'all better be ready for this, man.
So let me ask you this, Carl, because
That's good, man.
we are running short on time, but you guys are here representing CAPS, but I know there's other people on your team. Like, who are the other main people that's a part of the organization?
So there's two others, Kevin Corbin and Erica Glisson, and basically all four of us are educators, and all four of us are coaches.
That's good.
And so again, when we talk about training, you're going to be trained from coaches and educators. And if you're a really good coach, you know how to teach. And if you're a really good teacher, you know how to coach.
Oh, yeah, nah.
Yeah, and that's the part about it.
Yeah.
So, you had something?
No, I was agreeing. It's the truth.
Last question for you, man. How can parents and players and community people, man, how can they learn more about this? How can they get involved? Like, what needs to happen?
Okay. So the website that you would start at is www.capsathletics.org. And the reason why I talk about that one is because before you get to this, you need to know about this.
Yep.
Okay.
So you need to understand what CAPS is about before you just hop into the league. That's just something I believe.
Yeah,
and then through that is the link for the league, and it's a registration page, and you can find out more about that. But it's important for us to make sure that the message is out there. So if you are a mentor, you want to be a mentor. If you're a coach, you want to be a coach. Parent that's interested, you go to either one of those, and we'll be able to give you more communication. But you got to love kids, man. You got to have your heart in the right place. You got to. That's just what it's got to be.
Yeah. As for social media, we're also on Instagram, caps.athletics on Instagram, and then on Facebook we are Caps Athletics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. Y'all better joke. Boy, y'all parents, boy, man. Shoot.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's been amazing just hearing about the program.
Yeah, man, that's big.
I want to thank both of y'all for coming through Troof Be Told and sharing this wonderful organization with our audience. And we hope that the message can be out there and get received in the way that you start seeing those kids come out to your to the organization. One last thing, Green.
Yeah, man. But I hope this be very successful, man. I think it's gonna be. This big, because they never hear this coming up real. Yeah, WNBA or NBA even sponsoring nothing around here.
Right.
So this big, man. And the parents ain't got to travel. Man, they gonna be 500 people there, boy.
All right, man. We out of here. See you guys a little bit later. Peace.
Peace.